Hey folks, excited to touch on this Mythic guide we're going to run through really quick for Fury Warrior. Fury's at a really engaging, quick spot right now. Really satisfied with it. As far as Warrior changes, Arm's seen a fair bit of change. Fury didn't get touched. Shattering Throw had a slight change, um, basically tied to the amount of damage that gets produced by Shattering Throw. That got reduced a little bit. Execute damage actually got increased by 10%, but not to Condemn, which is the Venthyr class that I'm obviously tied into, and it actually only applied to arms and protection. So trying to really appeal to a couple players to go try out a couple other covenants that are out there, and rightfully so. I think Night Fae is definitely competitive, and Kyrian can have its moments as well. So we'll see what shakes out. All right. That being said, let's dive into the actual talent breakdown here. Now, from a talent perspective, um, if you can have some kind of like plater mod in tier one just to complement you taking fresh meat, it'll make life way easier. It's by far the best talent for AoE situations, provides a bunch more uptime on Enrage by default, and taking advantage of its bonus effect, how it always grants Enrage the first time a target is struck, it'll make a huge difference in terms of you managing your own uptime. Tier 2, Stormbolt is really the only stun warriors have. We have our fear, and then if you're an engineer, you can maybe sneak something on your belt. Um, but this talent is super valuable in Mythic Plus. No question about it. Tier 3, Massacre is by far the go-to regardless of what covenant you're in. Certainly if you're in a covenant that has Condemn like Venthyr, it is ultra valuable. You're just basically running through your execute rotation for more than half of a boss fight. So really valuable choice, even for other covenants in different AoE situations. Tier 4 Warpaint, it just provides that high uptime 10% damage reduction, which makes the talent really, it's the best defensive through this row of defensives. Tier 5, a little bit of eh, carryover, we'll say, from 9.05. Not a lot of change here. Cruelty's the go-to talent. The additional damage on Raging Blow, as well as chance for refunds, really just raises the priority of the spell. It'll outperform Bloodthirst in a lot of situations and decrease the number of whirlwinds that you'll actually require just to fill, which is never that fun. Tier 6, Bladestorm is the strongest for AoE. If you can pair it up with Signet of Tormented Kings, that legendary, it makes Fury even stronger from a burst perspective. So load up on that. Really straightforward. Finally, Anger Management is the strongest overall talent in the row. In both AoE or single target, this is almost like a dead row. Having just below a 1 minute recklessness cooldown makes it line up with Bladestorm really well, and every other Dragon Roar, or Spear of Bastion if you're a Kyrian Covenant. And the synergy will go with one of our legendaries, the Signet of Tormented Kings, which increases the proc rate due to an increase in recklessness casts. So it's really just kind of building upon itself. It also synergizes well with one of our best conduits, the Depths of Insanity, and which also increases the duration of recklessness. So we're starting to scale a little bit. Not a lot of classes are taking advantage of exponential scaling. We know Frost Mage is, but Fury and Mythic Plus seems to be holding its own. From a Covenant perspective, yeah, like for me personally, Venthyr is a real easy go-to. Kyrian's a fair bit weaker. Necrolord is situationally strong, I'll put it that way. Night Fae is strong and probably the strongest from a pure AoE perspective. So definitely take advantage of its signature ability, Ancient Aftershock, if time allows. Finally, if we just jump down to Legendaries, you heard a few things mentioned here. Signet of Ancient Kings, of Tormented Kings, sorry, is kind of the recommended one that you can go with. I'm interested to see how the Sinful Surge is actually going to play out. It's basically going to increase recklessness from Condemn, allowing you for basically 100% uptime while being in range of Condemn. Could be a ton of fun here, so really kind of excited to see what goes on with this build and Venthyr in general. And now finally, from a stat priority perspective, with Fury, you're going to continue to stack up until you have haste in that 25 to 30% range. Then you're going to try to prioritize mastery, critical strike, versatility, and then haste again after the fact. So keep that in mind. Overall, we're in a really great spot. Fury is one of the best locations I've seen it in a very long time. Got random priests dropping shields on me. It's all good. Alright folks, thanks for checking out the vid. Let me know what you do different. Let me know your talents and builds. And hit that subscribe button. Thanks for checking out my channel. Peace.